Petronas actually offered programs such as Digital Bootcamp. Yes, that actually helps to prepare our future talent to instill them about the awareness
from leadership roles, even at the platforms. It's not uncommon to see a woman at offshore.
When you hear leadership program, you automatically expect that you're going to get practical tips on managing your team.
Yes. Hi everyone, we're back again for another episode of the GRADUAN Go podcast. Today we're at a very special location at PETRONAS Leadership Center, and with me I have three special guests from PETRONAS. Let me first introduce all of them, and we're going to discuss a little bit more on sustainability. So with me I have Irene, Surya, and also Anif. Okay, Irene, why don't you start with introducing yourself and also sharing some exciting bits about working in the industry?
Okay, sure. Hi everyone, my name is Irene Laksomei. You can just call me Irene, and I'm currently serving as a senior process engineer in Petronas Group Technical Solution, specializing in water technology. So what water technology is about? So it actually is about finding ways and also solution to actually treat, reuse, and also manage the water that have been used in our industrial processes, so that we're actually reducing freshwater intake, reducing effluent discharge into the environment so that we are protecting the environment. And at the same time, we are actually ensuring that the process still goes on smoothly. So what excites me the most about working in the energy sector is that by knowing that every steps that we take actually shapes the future. And why I'm saying that is because I think all of us knew that we are currently at the heart of transformations, whereby technology shifts, climate change, as well as energy security all intersects. And by taking this positively, we're actually creating a change in the future. And why I feel so proud to be serving in the in Group Technical Solution Petronas is because I knew that serving as a water technologist is very important. Because when we often talk about oil and gas industry, what people think about is hydrocarbon. But we often overlook that behind every molecules of energy that we produce, there is water. We have cooling water, we have boilers, we have steam, we have wastewater that need to be treated before it can be returned to the nature and the environment.
I mean, honestly, it's really exciting because, like you mentioned, sometimes we don't remember that there's also water is a big element in our everyday life.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Surya?
Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. My name is Surya Melanie. You can call me Surya. I come from Sarawak, and this is my 12th year in the oil and gas industry. So what I do in Petronas is that I am in petroleum storage and resources, which we call as PSR in short. So what we do is that you can imagine us as the Marie Kondo of Petronas.
Okay.
So whereby instead of organizing closets,
Yeah.
my team organizes the oil and gas numbers.
Okay.
So imagine Petronas has a giant pencil case.
Okay.
So for my team, we help to figure out which sort of supplies, for example, pencils or erasers that we need now that will go under reserves.
Okay.
And the ones that we need in the future are those that we call under resources.
I see.
So again, this team is not just about tracking the numbers.
Yeah.
So the numbers in the end will actually help to provide analytical insights to chart Petronas's future and all our strategies.
Okay.
Right? And this is what excites me the most because numbers coming from a very, very small detail
Yeah.
up to the board and ELT level, which will bring the chart Petronas's future. And also, I think the precision, the act of making sure that everything is precise, is being endorsed by the right people, and the numbers are being submitted accordingly, according to the industry standards.
Yeah.
Just to make sure the numbers are, again, precise.
Yeah.
So this precision is also stemmed from my initial experience, my early experience of internship with F1 Mercedes AMG back then in Brackley in the UK. So that was around 2011, 2012, whereby I was grateful for the opportunity to have an internship.
Yes,
with
I'm sure
them.
everyone would find
So,
that super exciting. How old were you at that
I
point?
was 21.
Wow.
Alhamdulillah for the opportunity
Yeah.
for someone who came from Sarawak. It was very exciting
Yeah.
at the time. So when I was doing the internship, I was working with this aerodynamics team. So what the aerodynamics team doing is that we fabricate
Yeah.
the race car components, and we
Okay.
put them into the wind tunnel for testing.
Yeah.
So as you know, F1, every millimeter counts.
Yeah.
So that is where I learned from an early experience that precision really matters in your work.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's interesting that you learned that through your internship experience
yes.
via in F1 and you're where all the action was.
Yes.
Yeah. So congratulations for
Thank you
that
so
answer.
much. Thank you.
Hani?
Right. I cannot top that for an introduction. It's too good. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good day all. My name is Muhammad Anif Adnan. I go by Anif from Megatrends Research Corporate Strategy. So what I do usually puzzle a lot of people because it sounds more like a movie directed by Michael Bay or Joe Russo or Russo brothers, right? So research is usually simple. It's
Yeah.
like analyzing data, doing publications and presentations. So the megatrends research is about looking at the trends all around the world, the signals, and making sense into how it eventually links to ties, to one another, and eventually brings how Petronas can relate to that and how it can shape the energy industry in general. Um, in my research element or my research study, we get to learn about the new technology, emerging technology. It's fun to know what people have been innovating. For example, I've been to San Francisco once to evaluate. Also, a little bit of overseas, like what Surya mentioned just now. Been to San Francisco and evaluating startups and technology entrepreneurs, and it's so exciting to see how they innovate the decarbonization technologies and how to reduce emission.
Yeah.
And one of the most exciting projects that I've seen is that how they turn carbon dioxide into fuel that is
Yeah.
not emitting any emission at all. So
Yeah.
that's what excites me in what I currently do.
Yeah. I mean, it's really good to know that Petronas has all these opportunities for, all of you. So I'll go dive straight into Irene. I think we're going to talk a bit about sustainability. So Petronas was awarded the Sustainability Award in the GRADUAN Brand Awards in 2023 and 2024. What does sustainability actually mean to you as a young professional in the energy sector?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Nada.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that all this while there has been ongoing criticism going on directed to the oil and gas industry. Yes, we knew that. But if we have a deep thoughts, we will see that actually it's all about fueling progress. Let's think about our nation growth, our economy, and even our everyday life. We are actually depending on the power that is actually generated by energy.
Correct.
Yes. So, but at the same time, I understand that the risk that we are putting onto the planet because of the development and innovations that we have to go on.
Yeah.
So that's why sustainability really means a lot to me. Because I believe that sustainability is about striking a middle ground.
Okay.
Yeah. We need to embrace technology and innovations for us to develop and move on because we need to move on with the progress of our nation.
Yes.
But at the same time, we need to understand that we need to find a sustainable solution as well as we are ongoing on this process. I believe that to make it short, it's about ensuring the progress that we're achieving today to do not compromise the needs for tomorrow.
That's
Yep,
a nice
yep,
way of putting
yes.
it. Yeah.
And serving as in Group Technical Solutions Petronas, what I feel is that sharing my perspective in terms of water technology, I believe that water is one of the very important element. I think it's the invisible backbone that is actually supporting the entire process. So, by advancing in technology and solutions that will be able to actually maximize water reuse as well as reducing its impact to the environment, we're actually safeguarding another source of very important resources in our planet. Yeah. So another thing that I would like to share is that I believe that sustainability is all about coming from your own self. Yeah. When you have a purpose that drives you to move towards a sustainable future, that will even makes more impact and it will become more meaningful to you. So I'm very proud to say that Petronas is one of the is the first a company, I can say the first company in Southeast Asia to have declared its net zero carbon emissions aspiration. And I believe that this is I'm so proud to be one of Petronas staff because it speaks a lot of volume. Yeah.
Correct.
It not the volume is all about how we are actually carrying the talk. We are actually committed to lead the talk,
Yeah.
not just for the profits, but for the betterments of the people, the planet as well as the society. And another thing I think Petronas is good, I'm so proud to be a part of Petronas, is because I understand that Petronas is doing everything based on just energy transition. So what is about just energy transition?
Yeah.
It is about we are ensuring that we are moving towards a lower carbon society and future while ensuring that our livelihood, communities as well as opportunities are not left behind. Yeah. So I believe that that's what sustainability means to me. Yeah.
It's a bit of a balancing act, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So with that balance, Anif, how do you see Petronas balancing its traditional oil and gas operations with its sustainability goals?
Yeah, thanks, Nada. I think
Yeah.
most of it have been mentioned by Irene before. And if I can add just a little bit on how Petronas balancing
Yeah.
all of that. Personally, I think Petronas has a very clear energy transition strategy. I think everything lies back to the strategy and how we move forward.
Yeah.
It's guiding everything that we do. And I think at the core of our business is always about finding more energy, but with less emission. Right?
Yes.
I think if we look at our upstream operations, where I think for the layman here, places where you can see platforms, that extract oil from the ground, we are always looking at how to find advantage barrel. That's what we term it internally. Is where how do we find oil and gas that will commit to like lesser emission. And we continuously look at our portfolio and see, which portfolio has a lot of emissions, a lot of carbon, and then we kind of like look for better prospects.
Yeah.
So everything lies back to the strategy,
Yeah.
more energy, less emission. And I think what we do basically matters than what we say, right? For instance, if you look at our petrol stations, I think most of our petrol stations now have solar panels installed
Yeah.
for their self-usage. And also recently, I think it's a Malaysian record that we installed the largest single rooftop solar panel at University Technology Petronas, our alma mater.
Yeah.
So I think that's a testament to where we're heading with balancing oil and gas and sustainability there.
Yeah. I must say it's not easy, but you're definitely in the right direction, right, with all these changes that you're making. Surya, in your current role in the Group Financial Controller, are there any resource management initiatives that align with Petronas's sustainability goals?
All right. So in my current role
Yeah.
under Petroleum Storage Resources, which we call it as PSR, I oversee submissions with regards to greenhouse gas emissions
Okay.
and also carbon capture and storage. So knowing these figures not only tells us a story about how much we are emitting, but it's actually telling us, it's giving me a first overview on how our activities, is it in line with our Petronas net zero carbon emission 2050?
I see.
Right. So again, we are seeing more and more decarbonization efforts or initiatives from our operation sites to reduce the emission. And also there are more initiatives, for example, installing a cleaner energy in our operation sites, for example, solar panels, wind turbine, fuel gas replacement with electricity, and also, for example, capturing and storing all the carbon deep into our geological formations. So that is happening for quite some time right now.
Yeah.
And also for me, sustainability isn't just limited to the oil and gas industry. It is actually venturing out, opening up to other areas of business.
Yes.
So I think if you heard of the carbon credit opportunity, where some companies actually look to offset their emissions. So this is where one of the sustainability efforts come in. So, and also capturing the CO2 is just the beginning.
Yeah.
So once we capture the CO2, actually the output can be sold off as raw materials for building, making plastics,
Yeah.
and so on. So the business opportunity just don't stop at emissions. It goes way beyond that.
Yeah, that's nice. So Anif, I wanted to ask, technology is now a very big thing, right? And it's transforming the energy industry. From AI to automation, how are these innovations shaping the way you work and the way you see the future of energy?
Right. I find the relationship between energy and technology currently is really fascinating.
Yeah.
On one hand, I think the buzzword right now, AI,
Yeah.
is incredibly power hungry,
Correct.
right? The data centers that basically power the whole AI that we're using on a day-to-day basis now consumes the energy on a scale of countries, right?
Correct.
Like the size of Germany, Sweden, that is
Correct.
twice of Malaysia.
Yeah.
So this massive demand is going to be a key driver for innovation in cleaner energy, which aligns perfectly to the strategy that I just mentioned. So if you look at the numbers, AI power demand is only going to rise, right? There are
Yeah.
more data centers going to be built just to support all of this.
Yeah.
It has been consuming, north of 500 terawatt hours a year. And if I can put that into perspective, it's enough to power every Malaysian homes for 15 years.
Yeah.
That's how big the massive size of it, and they need power to run
Yeah.
it, and that perfectly matches our strategy. Like I mentioned earlier, we need more energy, but with less emission.
Correct.
So this means our engineers are pushing into uncharted territories to find these places where we can still get carbon, but with less emission along the way.
Emissions.
So on the flip side, AI also is a massive productivity driver into what we do on a daily basis. For instance, now I'm working with the upstream team,
Okay.
where they are utilizing this AI into interpreting a lot of data that they get from seismic data. Under the subsurface data that has taken them years into just months or weeks. So I think this is a massive opportunity that we need to take right now.
Yeah.
Riding on the AI or technology waves into energy transition as well.
Yeah, that's true. Surya, I wanted to ask, are there any digital tools or practices that, from the high performance environment during your internship in Brackley that you've seen reflected in your current work?
Thanks, Nada.
Yeah.
So actually, when I was doing the internship at the time with F1 Mercedes, I had the opportunity to learn about Kanban.
Oh.
So Kanban is actually a tool to help plan for. It's a visual workflow management method, whereby it helps the team to first visualize the workflow, and then manage priorities, and then last but not least to eliminate any bottlenecks.
Okay.
So this comes very, very important, especially for race week operations or wind tunnel testing or even the normal day-to-day operations,
Okay.
right? So again, by making every task visible and trackable, Kanban not only helps to promote continuous improvement, but also it helps to make quick decision making, because as you know, back then in F1, every millisecond counts.
Counts, yeah.
Yes. So everything has to be very, very efficient, very, very visible and trackable.
Yeah.
And that knowledge, I bring it to my current role.
Yeah.
So previously, before I was in group finance control, I was also in petroleum engineering.
Okay.
And both also have the same pattern of every workflow. If you want to be effective, you have to make sure that it's visible and trackable. So this is where Kanban actually
that
comes
knowledge.
into place. Yeah.
Okay. So Irene, how do you think Petronas is preparing young talents for this digital shift that's, coming our way?
Yeah. Okay, I believe that Petronas is really preparing us out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what I would like to say is that in Petronas itself, there are a lot of training opportunities that Petronas actually offered. And at the same time, if we are talking about shaping the future, Petronas actually offered programs such as Digital Bootcamp. Yes, that actually helps to prepare our future talent, our young engineers, to instill them about the awareness about tech savvy.
Okay.
Yep. So technology advancement is like in these places that we need to instill our future generations already that this is one of the skills that they should equip themselves with. Besides that, I believe that having real hands-on on project is the crucial part for you to gain this
Experience, right?
this
Yeah.
experience. Yes, sharing from my part of experience during my work in Petronas, I actually got the experience and also the opportunities to create dashboards so that we can track freshwater withdrawal, we can track carbon emission, as well as energy utilization within our own facilities. And I'm proud to say that all these efforts and initiatives are actually generated by our own Petronas talent. Yeah,
Wow.
our self efforts. Yes. So I believe that besides that, we are also given opportunities to work with external parties. For example, in Petronas Innovation Gateway. Yeah, this is one of the great platforms whereby we are able to actually meet people from outside and we get to learn what they are doing as well. So we get ourselves an update with what is happening in the industry. And by doing that, we'll be able to improve ourselves in terms of technology estimations, as well as the technology advancement. And we get ourselves to be updated with what is happening in the industries.
Okay.
Yeah. So I believe Petronas is really preparing us up so that we can utilize digitalizations as one of the mode for us to achieve business agility, while at the same time maintaining our own core. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe digital is important, but our own core is still important. As a person, how we are going to achieve a balance
Yeah.
into using digitalization, but at the same time, we are still maintaining our own core. We want to produce energy, we want to produce oil and gas, we want to produce power, but at the same time, we are taking care of the sustainability for the people as well. Yeah. I believe that is
That's
how
very nicely
yes.
said
Yeah.
because like it's just how you see things and but always go back to the core,
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah.
So Surya, Petronas was awarded one of the best management trainee programs in 2024 from the GRADUAN Brand Awards. In your experience, what makes the talent experience in Petronas so different?
Actually, Alhamdulillah, when I first joined Petronas as a fresh graduate,
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to be enrolled in a program which we call IDP, Individual Development Program, whereby it's a 1 year training where it helps to build the capabilities of petroleum engineers, but not just petroleum engineers, but also our geoscientists.
Okay.
So what we do during that 1 year is that we get to have a first hand on how field development planning actually works from the planning phase down until the execution. So imagine after years of learning this field development planning in the classroom, we actually get to see it
Real
firsthand
life, right? Yeah.
during 1 year. So during that 1 year, for example, at the time I'm a petrophysicist.
Yeah.
So within 3 months, I moved to another role, which is production technologies. So I get to see from different perspective of multidiscipline. So this IDP, it is a very structured
Program.
and it involves multidisciplinary program. And that helps because as a fresh grad, I get to be exposed to all of these different perspectives in the first year.
Yeah.
And then what I truly cherish about our IDP is that I get to have the opportunity to visit our operation sites. For example, a drill ship,
Oh, nice.
platforms, semi-submersible rigs,
Yeah.
which I've only seen in pictures during my uni years,
Yeah.
and I finally get to see it. And to be part of the offshore crew, it was very, very surreal and
sure.
very, very exciting.
Yeah.
Not everyone gets the opportunity to do that. And also, I remember at the time I was being interviewed by one of the media for a future on women in the oil and gas industry, and they were asking like, how can you strive in a male dominated industry? In Petronas, we do have a lot of women
Women.
taking up leadership roles, for example, from leadership roles, even at the platforms.
Nice.
It's not uncommon to see a woman at
Yeah.
offshore, and even at the time, during the interview, I just got back from an offshore hitch.
Okay.
My coveralls were still very dirty with grease and it's still in the wash. So I tell them, yeah, that's the fact. Petronas actually has a lot of women already
Opportunities
in
for women as well.
opportunities for women, be it at the office or also offshore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also other than that, from that experience, I moved from petroleum engineering and to my current role in the group finance department. And still, they have the same culture of upskilling and development in the sense that we do have this weekly upskilling. So it's not just by seniors
Yeah.
or technical experts, but we do have also junior or senior staffs giving us upskilling or sharing on what they do know with the current role that we are into. So it's very, very diverse. It's not just for one-sided. So we get to learn from each other from different perspectives.
Oh, that's really good. So, Anif, have there been any skills that you've developed that you didn't expect to?
Right. A little bit similar to the experience that Surya has just told us.
Yeah.
The biggest skill that I've learned here that I absolutely wasn't expecting was about leadership.
Oh, okay.
But in a totally different way than I thought. I got to participate in the signature program by PLC called High Impact Leadership Program here in Bangi. When you hear leadership program, you automatically expect that you're going to get practical tips on managing your team,
Yes.
how to order them to do this, follow whatever you say. These are things that we automatically expect, but boy was I wrong,
Okay.
right? The entire 6 months journey of that program was a deep, intense dive of knowing yourself. Right?
Wow.
So it was all about figuring out who I really am, what kind of image that I had unconsciously built,
Yeah.
and blind spots that were holding me back, from being my true self in terms of leading people. Well, this might be cliche to a lot of people listening to this podcast, but best leadership is about leading yourself, right?
Yeah.
So that program genuinely gave me a real tangible perspective into leading, and it was a completely shift in focus, right? And it turned out to be one of the best impactful lessons that I've ever had. So yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, when you joined the program, that was definitely not what you expected to
Not
get
what I
out of
was
it.
expecting. I was looking for a matrix on how these people behave and how should I lead them. How
Yeah.
these, but eventually it's all about you.
Yeah, because it's not that straightforward, right? It's
That's
actually,
right.
it starts from within,
That's
back
right.
to the core. So, wanted to ask you, Irene, how does Petronas support continuous learning and agility in your career growth?
Okay. I believe that in Petronas itself, Petronas really takes it seriously to ensure everyone is given even opportunities to develop ourselves, not in terms of technical skills, but also leadership skills. Yeah. One of the most important values I think that I have learned throughout my involvement in various projects, in various initiatives in Petronas is leadership by example. Yep. I believe leadership by example is very important because it's all about how you actually gain respect from others through the values and principles that you hold, not just by authority and not just by speaking.
Like, not by default, right?
Yes,
Just
correct.
yeah.
Yes. Another thing I would like to share that recently, me and Anif actually was given the opportunity to participate in the Future Energy Leader Program. Yep, under Energy Asia. And this has really widened my eyes. Yep, in this program, we're actually given the opportunities to actually work together with engineers from other companies, from other giant organizations in the oil and gas industries, as well as from banks, from the governments, as well as from some of the digital companies as well. So as we work together, we can sense that even though we are from different backgrounds, from different expertise, all of us have the same goals. We want to shape a better future for our younger generation.
True.
Yeah. And that is why I believe that Petronas actually creates an environment and a culture whereby everyone is given the opportunity to develop yourself as long as you want to do it. Yeah. Yeah, so I believe that I'm very fortunate to be part of Petronas. And until today, I'm glad to say that this continuous learning spirit within myself, I hope for the other as well, is still growing and is still burning. Yeah.
That's really
Yes.
good.
Because I believe engineering is one of the industry whereby we cannot stop learning.
Yeah.
Yes. Knowledge is not enough for us.
Yes.
Every day there is something new for us to learn. And if you stop learning, I think that maybe you have to start to think about your opportunity for you to explore other work
right.
opportunities. Yes. Yep.
So, young voices are powerful drivers of change. I wanted to ask Anif, how do you see your role shaping the future of Petronas?
Well, yeah, before I answer that, I really believe in the saying, what got us here won't get us there.
Okay,
Right? And I think it applies perfectly to the energy transition that we're talking
at the
about.
moment, yeah.
Yeah, the past has built Petronas incredible scale and security, but the younger generation right now, the job of the younger generation is to inject agility and future relevance.
Yeah.
That's the key role for the young voices. That's my perspective. And while it's easy to dismiss youthful voice as being inexperienced, but my role, my participation in Future Energy Leaders program, like
Yeah.
what Irene just mentioned, completely changed my perspective on seeing things. Like Irene mentioned about getting people across industries, and this is talking about involving people across the region, right? Especially in ASEAN, where we can see the young voices are really spirited in seeing the future that they want to build moving ahead. And my direct role in shaping that future came through that network.
Yeah.
In fact, during the program, Irene, if you remember, we launched Youth for Energy Transition and Sustainability Network. It's called YesNet. And I see my role as continuously leveraging those regional networks that I've built, or connections that innovative mindset drive strategic changes for Petronas needs to remain relevant for decades to come. So that's where I think how youthful voices is really shaping and helping with the energy transition and how we see future as we want it to be.
I see. What about you, Surya? Have you had opportunities to contribute ideas or lead initiatives?
Okay. So I think just to echo what Anif mentioned about collaboration with
Yeah.
people across different industry or backgrounds, I think I could also relate to that because one of the projects that I had the chance
Yeah.
to lead was this automation for a process that we do in our corporate reporting. And because the goal is actually to streamline our current workflow. Currently, previously, it
Yeah.
took about, for example, 10 hours for
Oh.
us to load because Petronas is dealing with big data.
Yes.
So there's one particular process that would take about 10 hours on average. So with this automation in place, we could actually cut it down to 70%.
Wow.
70%. So that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
So this opportunity is not just about making sure that the numbers are meeting as to power our goals,
Yeah.
but it's actually minimizing manual work. And so that our allocated time is more towards gaining deeper insights into analysis
Yeah.
instead of focusing more time on, a lot of manual work.
Become more efficient in that
Yes,
way.
become more
right?
efficient. So your time is effective in the sense that you're working on, instead of more manual work,
Yeah.
you're doing on more analysis.
Correct.
So that is what it's supposed to be. And then from that experience, I also collaborate. I had the chance to collaborate with people from other backgrounds, from technical down to IT. And it's not easy to learn their lingo and language,
Yes,
especially
'cause
when
they
it
speak a different
when it
language.
comes to coding. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still not used to it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I try to listen out because all of us, regardless if we have different backgrounds, we want to streamline and go into the same goal, which is to
Correct.
be more effective in
Yeah.
our work. So that's what I'm proud of in the projects that I'm leading. And of course, at the end of the day, the main goals is actually for continuous learning. And also, if you want to make an impact in any organization, regardless if it's Petronas or any other companies, it is to make sure that it's not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about keeping your head low and letting your work and your results just show.
Correct. I truly believe in that as well. Irene, would you have some advice to give the youth nowadays who also want to make an impact in their respective organizations?
Okay, sure. I think I have two, if I can think about. Yeah. First thing is, it is very important to find your own purpose.
Okay.
The purpose that is driving you towards why I need to come to work every day. Yeah. I think that is one of the questions that really like everyone is actually like suffering from, right? Every day, what is pushing me to come to actually get out from my bed that is so comfortable to go to work? Yes. And for me myself, actually surviving leukemia, I was a leukemia survivor. Yes, actually give me that motivation and passion. And I feel very delightful as the work that I'm doing now is able to actually change the world into a more benevolent and benign environment for our future generation. So I believe finding the purpose is very important. If you have that purpose, it will actually motivates you to strive harder. No matter how hard or how challenging the situation is. Second thing I would like to share is never let a stumble in the road become the end of your journey. Yes, this is the most important message that I would like to share to everyone. Regardless of what career you are, not everything will be smooth sailing. Yes. And there will be challenges along the way. As we understand that currently we are in a dynamic energy landscape. Yes. And when we are moving towards this energy, when we are thriving towards challenge this when we are thriving against this challenging energy landscape, at the same time we are faced with the requirement for us to address and to answer to the urgency calls for sustainable energy solution. This is very challenging actually. But what really important, like what I want to say is that if you can relate it to a purpose, for example, the statement of purpose for Petronas, a progressive energy and solution partners, enriching life for a sustainable future. Yes, that is the motto that really motivates me every day because it is aligned with my life purpose. Yes. So I believe these are the two important messages that I would like to share to everyone, and I hope we can inspire the young engineers nowadays to actually find your own light.
Yeah.
Yeah, the light that really sparks your own passion, your own that can drives you to motivates you to come to your work and to give your very best shot at your
Every day,
workplace.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
So I must say, speaking to three of you has really motivated me. It's been really interesting to also get a little bit more insights on the industry and the energy sector. And I'm sure, like me, many other young Malaysians who are interested to enter the industry. Um, do you have any final words or advice for the new generation of Malaysians who want to be part of the energy sector? Maybe we'll start
Yeah,
off with
yeah.
Anif.
Okay, yeah, I'll start. So my final message to young Malaysians aspiring to join the energy industry is very simple. Um, you are entering the golden age of engineering. So we still need energy for everything, for
Mhm.
progress, for the economy to thrive, to fuel everyday life.
Yeah.
That need isn't going to go away. It's going to increase. Like I mentioned earlier, the
Yeah.
demand is growing. However, the real defining challenge of our era is figuring how to do that without jeopardizing the environment.
Correct.
This isn't a problem for someone else to solve. This is the toughest problem that the world is facing right now, and it's the challenge that young Malaysian engineers and innovators should perfectly take and prove yourself
Mm.
on how we can make changes to all of this. And if you're driven to making a tangible, a meaningful difference, if you want your work to truly matter decades from now,
Yeah.
I think the energy industry is where you
It's
can
at.
do it,
Yeah.
right? So I think that's a huge challenge for us to take on, but it's going to benefit generations to come. Yeah.
That's nice. Surya, any advice?
My advice for the young talents out there is be humble, be proactive, and also have an open mind. Because, like Anif mentioned, this industry that we are in, it's constantly evolving.
Yes.
It's no longer just oil and gas. We are now opening up to digital transformation, to carbon capture and storage, and everything else in between. So that's a lot of challenges, and with a lot of challenges, there's a lot of opportunities for you
Agreed.
to learn. And at the same time, this industry is heavily affected by what's happening around the world. For example, crisis, economic uncertainties, and even a virus outbreak can change it,
Yeah.
right? And but it's okay. Don't fret because these are all the challenges, yes. But then again, with every challenges comes new opportunities. So there are opportunities for collaboration and innovation, and this energy world needs a lot more people who are doers, thinkers, and also dreamers to create a more sustainable future.
Sounds good. And Irene, your final advice?
Okay, I think most of them has been mentioned by Anif and also Surya. Yeah, but I would like to add a new one.
Yeah.
Okay, we need more young talents. We need more courageous mind, which is from our young talents, and we need creative ideas actually to help us to move towards the future, low carbon society. But at the same time, we'll be able to achieve um, just energy transition. Everyone, no one, everyone is moving at the same pace. No one is left behind.
Such inspiring words from all of you,
Yeah,
actually.
thank you.
Like I said, I learned so much, and it's been such a pleasure speaking to all of you. And thank you for hosting us at the Petronas Leadership Center. So, for all of you out there, I hope that you gained as much as I did. And do tune in into our next episode. Thank you, everyone. Bye.